Thanks very much, and welcome everybody. We're going to the bottom half of the first inning. You saw the home run hit by Keith Lockhart, his 8th of the year, coming against Andy Ashby, giving the Atlanta Braves a 1-0 lead. And on the mound, Greg Maddux.
Sometimes he leaves you speechless. 1.53 ERA is coming off a 3-hit shutout against the Reds.
Maddux goes to work here. Kilby Averis will be leading it off. Switch hitter has got a 6-game hit streak. Gary Thorne, Dave Campbell, welcome everybody. Great to have you with us for game 2 of our doubleheader. The 2 best teams in the National League going at one another in game 2 of the series. Ozzie Guillen hauls it in and one away here in the bottom of the first for San Diego. Take a look at our Nextel starting lineup tonight. The San Diego Padres. Barris, who is leading it off here. They've got a couple of changes in the lineup. Finley will be batting second. Tony Gwynn third. Ken Caminiti in the cleanup hole. Wally Joyner will be batting fifth. Greg Myers will go sixth. Rivera will be playing in left field tonight. Gomez starts at short, and Ashby on the mound. Maddux missing outside with that one. There's the Nextel lineup that we just gave you. And you've got the left, right, and switch hitter at the top of the order. Veras, who's out of there. That one punched in the air to left center field. Jones, Klesko, center fielder Andrew Jones hauls it in and avoids the collision, and Finley's retired.
Well, Andrew Jones, who has a chance, in my opinion, and I said it earlier in the year, to be the best center fielder in baseball, since Willie Mays. He took charge of that one. Let the sure guy have it. Maddux is doing nothing but strikes. Here in the first, Finley does pretty good work on it. But Andrew Jones is going to take charge, and rightly so, and makes the catch.
Only 21 years old, still finding himself out there in center field. Here's Tony Gwynn at .323 batting average, 6th in the National League, starting the day. And a ground ball. Maddux knocks it down. He'll make the play at first. And a Greg Maddux kind of inning, Dave Campbell.
6 pitches. Typical Maddux.
Mercy. Braves on top. 1-0. San Diego on this beautiful summer night. Bobby Cox's team, #1 in the National League. 79 wins, 40 losses, 14 games up starting the day in their division. They're going to postseason again. For Bobby Cox, our Nextel starting lineup for the Braves. There's what they did in the first inning. Ozzie Guillen out of there. Lockhart the home run. Then Chipper Jones picked up a single. Galarraga, Klesko, Michael Tucker making the start in right. Perez is the personal pitcher for Maddux. Behind the plate, Andrew Jones in center field, and Greg Maddux on the mound.
Andy Ashby has been absolutely splendid this year. A great breakthrough season for him, going after win number 16. 4th in innings pitched, 4th in ERA, right up there in fewest runners per 9.
And Ken Caminiti, it is going to be a quick out. Michael Tucker on the play made by W. Barris that time at second base. 1 down on the ground ball out. Tucker.
Well, Ashby, only 39 walks this year. Maddux has issued 24, and 5 of those intentional. But it took Andy Ashby at age 31 a long while to break through, but a lot of people who saw him pitch early in his career knew he had the ability. He just had to believe it himself, and pitching coach Dave Stewart has helped him get to where he needed to be.
He is there this year. Both these pitchers are looking to become the first 16-game winners in the National League. Eddie Perez up there, as we said, he is the personal catcher for Maddux. This is where he gets all of his starts and puts up big numbers when given the opportunity. It's a great way for Bobby Cox to be able to shuffle his catchers in and out of the lineup, to have one who catches Maddux on a regular basis.
Yeah, Eddie last year caught him 31 out of 33. This was Maddox's 26th start, and Perez has been in there for each of them.
It doesn't hurt the Braves at the plate. Slider misses outside to him, and the count's 2 balls and 1 strike. Greg Maddux 15-5. Ashby 15-6. 2 great pitchers in the National League. Swung on and missed.
You never know what you're going to get, Gary, but these 2 guys have pitched the most efficient ball games in the 90s. Andy Ashby had a 75-pitch game against the Rockies just prior to the All-Star break. Number 2 in the 1990 78-pitch game that Greg Maddux had against the Cubs.
I mean, their numbers are absolutely phenomenal. They don't walk anybody. They get lots of ground ball outs. Caminiti over to first base. Perez retired. Andy Ashby is number 2 in ground ball outs in the league. Maddux is number 1.
Well, these two clubs feature the number 1 and 2 defenses in the National League. The Braves are number 1, the Padres number 2. The common thread is both of them have brilliant defensive first basemen. They help cut down in the errors. Wally Joyner has never won a Gold Glove. He should have somewhere in his career. He's been absolutely marvelous.
Bruce Bochy, skipper of San Diego in his 4th season. Club that's going to the postseason, and how. 2 down, nobody on. Andrew Jones up 0 for 3 in the opener of this series last night. This is the second of a 3-game set these two teams are playing here in San Diego. It's Atlanta's only trip to the West Coast. Bobby Cox finds that very hard to believe. But because of interleague play and the scheduling situation, Braves only get here once. He said it seems like he hasn't been here in 10 years.
Well, he's a California guy. He likes coming back home, but only one trip this year.
That one missed outside. 3 balls and no strikes. We were talking about the walks, Dave, and how successful they are. Ashby walks only 1.9 per 9 innings.
The last 7 games has never walked more than 1 a game. He's in danger of passing Andrew here.
And he does. So there's the 1 walk he's allowed. For Maddux, he only walks, well, the fewest of anybody. He comes into this game with 24 walks in 193 innings, 1.1 per 9 innings.
And speaking of a guy who we know all about his pitching numbers, a couple of other things. He's hitting .281. He's won 8 Gold Gloves in a row. He knows how to help himself other than just throwing the baseball.
Outstanding career hitter, not just this season. His numbers up there are for real. Maddux takes the fastball strike on the outside corner. Jones on at first base. 2 down here in the 2nd inning. 281 for Maddux on the year. He and Tommy Glavine, both of the Atlanta Braves, up there 1 and 2 in pitcher batting average. Andrew Jones goes, and the ball gets away from Myers. Head first slide, and Jones will have to stay there. It'll be a stolen base. There would not have been a throw on that pitch.
Normally, you don't want to send a guy in that spot, the 8th place hitter, with a pitcher up, but Ashby wasn't paying any attention. And you see the tremendous jump that Jones got. Ashby does have a slide step. He didn't use it. And then Myers, trying to rush things, couldn't get it. So a stolen base. He's in scoring position for Maddux.
His 14th stolen base, 14 for 16 in stolen bases this year. Braves already up 1-0. Andrew Jones with good speed on at second. They're not going to hold him close here. Veras and Gomez, short and second, backing off away from Andrew Jones with the pitcher Maddux up, not expecting him to try for third. Slider down and away, swung on and missed. 1-2 count.
Going into spring training, the Braves' thought was to bat Andrew Jones in the leadoff spot. You can see why with the speed. He just didn't have a good enough on-base percentage, and he got off to a rocky start this year, so he's sitting further down in the lineup.
RBI opportunity here for Maddux, and a grounder towards second base. Veras over. He's got the easy play to Wally Joyner, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits. A base runner left on in scoring position here in the 2nd inning. Middle of the order coming up. Caminiti, Joyner, Myers when we come back. Played a very interesting, wonderful, and at the same time sad note here tonight. Father and son are working this game as umpires. Hunter Wendelstedt is his first game as a plate umpire at the major league level. His dad is the veteran Harry Wendelstedt at second base. There's Harry. These guys are working together, father son, for only the 2nd game. Glenn Coleman, the president of the National League, said he would allow these two to work together only 1 series. Felt that was what was appropriate. That would be enough of a story. Greg Maddux, first ball hit down the left field line by Caminiti in the bullpen and foul. Last night, Harry Wendelstedt's dad, who was 90 years old, Harry Sr., passed away. Last night, after these two worked together for the first time. And because Hunter, his son, is working the plate tonight, they are here to do this game in memory of Harry's father, and then will return home tomorrow. Wow. So we send our condolences to Harry and Hunter Wendelstedt and their families on the loss of Harry Sr. Caminiti takes it down low. 2 ball, 1 strike count. What an ironic evening for those two. Joyner and Myers will follow here. Ken Caminiti 1 for 4 in the opener last night. Maddux misses down low with that one, and the count goes to 3-1. How good is Maddux? When he has a 3-1 count, the fans start applauding as though there was a rally going. 3-1 delivery on the way, and a line drive. Base hit by Caminetti into right. Michael Tucker will field it. First hit for the Pods.
Now, one thing, when you got Maddux 3-1, you don't get him in that count very often, but he's going to throw you a strike, something to hit, and Caminetti teed off on it. You see Bobby Cox kind of just going up. First inning, he only threw 6 pitches. He ended up throwing 5 to Caminetti. High fastball, and Ken lunched up on it and hit a bullet to right field.
Well, the leadoff's man on. That's something else that Maddux does not allow very often. He retires 80% of the leadoff batters this season. And a strike taken at the knees. Wally Joyner at an 0 for 3 in the opener of the series last night. There are the numbers on the year for him.
Marvelously consistent, 308 left and right. He is leading the major leagues in batting with men in scoring position. He's had a terrific year.
Caminetti back with Galarraga holding at first base. Ken Caminetti. The big guys there sharing a smile. He and Galarraga. Not a big lead. Maddux comes to that high set. He'll use a slide step two. Towards short. Ian will play it himself. Maddux was wise enough to let that ball go by and not touch it. As a result, they turn 2 away.
Well, we mentioned Maddux 8 Gold Gloves. He probably could have jumped and fielded that, but he knows where his defense is playing behind him. You see him right there. Ball kind of see him pull a hand back because he knew Ozzie Guillen was playing up the middle. Going to be a lot easier play for him. This guy is the consummate professional. Greg Colburn, who's one of their reserves, said he spends 10 hours before a game watching videotape. Now, Maddux would never tell you that. He wants to just make you think it's easy as pie, but he studies this game very deeply.
I can tell you anything about any hitter that you want to know in the National League and be right on. Greg Myers getting the opportunity working behind the plate. 5 hits in his last 20 at-bats. Myers, not a lot of opportunities. And look at that. Just watch it go by. Maddux eats him up on that one. That'll be his first strikeout. No runs, a base hit. Nobody left. Braves up. ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball is brought to you by Nike. Gary Thorne, Dave Campbell, welcome back, everybody. Braves with a 1-0 lead. We're talking about the quality of play you expect to see when these two teams get together. It has held up all season long. The Atlanta Braves expected to be this good. Padres better than expected. 79 wins, the most in the National League. 77 for the Padres, second best and not far behind those Houston Astros. If the playoffs were to start today, before any of the games played today, it would have been Houston at Atlanta, and New York would have been the wild card team. They could not play Atlanta because they're in the same division. So New York would have played here at San Diego if the playoffs started today. You can pretty much guess he'd be a starting pitcher.
I think both these teams are going to have a chance to line up their starters just the way they want to for postseason.
Ashby going back to work here. Ozzie Guillen up for the second time, trying to show bunt, pulled back on it. He was a strikeout victim, the only one so far for Ashby. Dave, we were talking before the game, our great friends at Elias Sports Bureau. I still am numb by it. I talked to Bobby Cox about it before the game with something they came up with about just how this is a matchup for the ages, even though it's a regular season game. This is only the 6th time in 98 years that two teams have met during the regular season where each has had this good a record, team-wise, and where you had two pitchers with 15 wins and a 700 win percentage. The 6th time in 98 years.
Yeah, first time since 1942. That's only 58 years.
Wow. That's how... That's what quality you've got here going in this game with these two clubs and these two pitchers.
Well, of course, the caveat is this late in the season also. I mean, some team could be 5-0 or something like that. But, you know, again, 15 wins, a winning percentage of 700 and this late in the season. Indeed.
Strike taken to Ozzie Guillen, trying to draw a walk here. 3-ball, 1-strike count. Guillen getting some playing time. Walt Weiss is missing his 4th straight game. That left quad problem that has held Weiss down some this year is affecting him again. Strike taken at the knees, so Weiss is out. For Guillen, the acquisition made after the start of this season. is now getting playing time and hitting .289.
As again, his next walk will be his 20th. That'll be a career high. He never walks.
There's Walt Weiss, who's having a hard time walking, period. That one all the way to the backstop. That is the second walk of the game given up by Ashby, and the leadoff man is on elsewhere. Let's check in with Michael Kim. Michael?
All right, Gary, a wild ninth inning in St. Louis. 2 outs in the ninth. Jeff Brantley on the hill, and George Fabregas with a 2-run home run to right to bring the Mets within 4-3. And then Bobby V turns to pinch hitter Mike Piazza, who says 1-2, infinity and beyond. That ties it up. That's where we stand in the ninth. Lance Painter in to pitch for the Cards. Back to you, Gary.
Michael, thank you very much. Ashby going to work here. Lockhart at a home run. Runner goes. Guillen on the charge. Throw down is there, and he's gone. Greg Myers now has thrown out 8 of 19 trying to steal against him, and Guillen is victim number 8.
Been a couple of close plays at this game. Both the calls have gone for the Padres. Chipper Jones thought maybe he was safe, and I think Guillen thought he got in there. They're running on Ashby. The throw from Myers, not a lot on it, but pretty good location. Ozzie thought he had the hand in. And, well, I'll tell you, it's close. The hand got in. This tag came on the shoulder. It looked like it was just about simultaneous.
That eliminates the leadoff runner. Foul back by Lockhart, and the count to him goes 0-2. He swung at that first pitch, trying to protect the runner.
As good as both these pitchers are, and especially Ashby this year, the one weakness they have, they are prone to giving up the stolen base. That is Maddux's one weakness. 20 out of 26 against him this year, and the runners have gone 70% against Ashby as well.
Lockhart goes to short with this one. Gomez up with it over to first. Lockhart's the second out for Atlanta here in the third inning.
Of course, a lot of things have changed over the last few years. Division play, going to 3 in each league, wild cards, etc. But the Padres have a chance to do something this year that no team in the history of baseball has ever done, and that is go from first place to last place to first place. They won in '96. They finished last in their division last year, and they have a commanding lead in the West this year.
They are up by 14.5 games starting today. Tony Gwynn says, I'll give up the batting title if I can get the postseason, but folks, you may get both. That one drill by Chipper Jones towards the gap. It's going to take a hop off the wall. Played out there by Tony Gwynn. Jones sees the ball in front of him. Will try for 3. Relay throw. Barris. It will not be over there in time. Chipper Jones, who came into this game 3 for 21 against Ashby, has now picked up a single and a triple in 2 at-bats.
And both times first pitch hitting. Ashby's stuff not quite as good as normal. He's at 40 pitches here in the third inning. Remember, this is a guy that had a 75-pitch complete game. So he's not really on his game. 2 walks, and in the middle of the plate with a lot of his pitches, Chipper seeing the ball in front of him. He doesn't need a third base coach. A good runner doesn't need a third base coach except when the ball's behind him. If it's in front of him, he can make the decision on his own.
So Chipper Jones all the way to third on that one. Now an RBI chance for Andres Galarraga. Jones has got a 6-game hit streak. He has been on a tear. Galarraga batting .303 and takes the pitch outside for a ball. Galarraga has been a demon against Ashby in his career. A .455 lifetime hitter against Andy Ashby, including 4 home runs off him. Not on that one.
You know, the big cat, a free swinger, likes the ball up. Ashby likes to keep it down. But obviously in the career, Galarraga's taken advantage of a lot of mistakes.
Chipper Jones on at third base, getting the look-see, his 5th triple. Galarraga, this time he comes inside to him. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, to keep it down there like Ashby did the first time with Galarraga with a high chopper, he's going to get him out. But when he elevates the ball for Galarraga, the big cat hadn't missed him very often.
Galarraga hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. He's got a 13-game hit streak going. Outside, trying to get him to chase, took the long look. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down. Very warm out here in Southern California. Temperatures have been in the 90s. Unusually warm, really beautiful weather, and a great night for baseball here tonight. Jones off third, 2-2. Galarraga's gone. They'll have to make the play at first. Myers out. That will do it. No runs, a triple. But Chipper Jones is left stranded at third base. It remains Atlanta 1-0.
Did Detroit takes on the
Astrodome. In addition to getting his career RBI #1, Randy Johnson struck out 13 Brewers, including Jeff Cirillo in the ninth. Cirillo didn't like the call. He and skipper Phil Garner ejected. Gary?
Hey, little old scrap iron material right there. It looks like Phil in his heyday. Strike taken here by Rivera.
My favorite stat, when I heard Randy Johnson struck out 12 in his debut with the Astros, that was the most strikeouts by a Houston left-hander in 29 years.
Ruben Rivera takes the pitch down low. Rivera's getting the start in left field tonight. Greg Vaughn, who's having a magnificent season, is not having a magnificent August. A chopper towards short. Got to hurry, bare-handed. Oh, the veteran still got it.
Who's that, Omar Vizquel?
That calloused hand can catch those balls.
That's an Omar Vizquel special with the bare hand. Walt Weiss said. That was interesting. Ozzie, respecting the speed of Rivera, decides to bare-hand it, but he actually throws him out by a long stride.
Ozzie Guillen, long-time shortstop, of course, with the White Sox. Baltimore didn't keep him, so here he is. What a job he's doing. Chris Gomez up. Gomez batting in the #9 spot at shortstop tonight. Had a 1 for 3 in the ball game last night. 1-0 Braves on top here. Our 8 spot rather. Ashby on deck. Pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner. 1-1.
Tony La Russa is not managing.
No. No, you're not going to have someone other than the pitcher hitting 9. 248 on the year. Towards short again. Guillen circles. Bombers. Wouldn't you know it? Hey, this game will make you honest.
Yeah, Ozzie will probably saying to himself, I'm not using my glove anymore. I'm going to trust my bare hand. But this time he tries to use the glove, and ball kicks up just a little bit at the last instant. And he bobbles. So again, gets hung with an error. Ball just kind of cutting the grass. Just as he goes to field it, it comes up just a tad, hit him in the heel of the glove. And Ozzie going, I already used the bare hand. I had better luck with that.
5th error of the season charged on Guillen. They mentioned earlier 2 best fielding clubs going at it here. Maddux stepped off and then looked over. That's why there was no balk there. There you see 71 errors this season. 3rd fewest in the National League. #1 in fielding percentage. Bunt, runner goes, chopped at and fouled off. Ooh, that's a dangerous play for the catcher. You can catch one on the bare hand, either bat or ball.
Well, a couple of reasons for that. Again, Maddux has the slow delivery. Gets some infielders moving. Ashby, the ability to put ball in play. Takes the bat back, tries for the butcher boy. Has a pretty good chop at it. That's what you want to do. Sometimes the pitchers get that sign where they square around, then they take a home run cut. You don't want to do that. You want to hit the ball on the ground and find a hole. He executed pretty well. Now he'll probably bunt.
Jones coming in at 3rd base. Chipper Jones thinks he's going to bunt, and he wanted to, fouled it off, and the count goes to 2 strikes on him. Maddux kind of smiling on where that one went, because Perez has had 2 tough pitches there, Dave.
I know, Eddie. Maddux probably thinking, well, Eddie, you got 4 days to rest after you get done with me, so just hang in there. Ashby will probably bunt again with 2 strikes. Try to get him down there for Veras, who had a big RBI last night.
9 sacrifices for Andy Ashby on the season. Best among the San Diego pitchers. In fact, #1 on the team. He dives square and drops it. Foul. So he is out of there. Did not get it on the 2-strike count, so he's a strikeout victim. And coming back to first base will be Gomez with 2 down.
That was a close but no cigar at bat. Ashby actually laid down a fairly decent bunt there, but it trickled foul. He almost executed the butcher boy correctly, but didn't get that done. May have something to do with the pitcher on the mound.
Nope. Deep breath for Ashby. Didn't get his runner down to second base. 2 away. And that'll take us to the leadoff spot. Gilby Veras popped out his first time up. Veras has a 6-game hit streak coming into this one.
Maddux aware a lot of times after a sacrifice goes awry, the manager will put the runner in motion. Even though Gomez doesn't have big speed, Bochy figures worst case scenario is you got Veras leading off in the 4th.
1 stolen base for Gomez, who's not going here, and the pitch is down low. Other thing we should point out about Greg Maddux here tonight, he is going for his 200th career win. 199 wins, 113 losses. He is trying to become the 94th pitcher in Major League history to win 200 games. Gomez goes, swung on and missed. Perez, gotcha, you're gone. Ozzie Guillen lays the tag on as Perez, who's thrown out 7 of 29, makes Mazzoni pitching coach, and his star Greg Maddux, as Mazzoni says, I'm a great pitching coach. I got this stab.
Eddie Perez made a heck of a throw. Gomez did not have a great break. Eddie had a great pitch to work with. Might have been a semi-pitch out. This was a no-brainer. He made it right on the money, and all Ozzie had to do was make sure he caught the ball. So Maddux, even though he's allowed 2 runners, one via hit, one on an error, he still only faced the minimum, getting a double play ball and a caught stealing.
Ashby ready to go to work here, waiting as Ryan Klesko will be leading it off. There you see the first 3 innings for these 2 pitchers going for their 16th win of the year.
Ashby 45 pitches, Maddux 26. Greg a lot more efficient in the early going, and again Ashby walking 2 and giving up a couple of hard hit balls. Hasn't had quite the movement on his sinker that he's had in recent days. You see his numbers since May 30th. He's also 9-1 with a 1.6 ERA at home this year. Maddux, on the other hand, has been better on the road.
Maddux gets beaten nowhere, I guess. He's only suffered the 5 losses this year. That one grounded for a base hit by Ryan Klesko out of the reach of Kilvio Barris, the second baseman. He is 1 for 2 now. He's on with a leadoff single here in the 4th inning. And our reminder, ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, the Baltimore Orioles, Lord Almighty, 24-7 now since the All-Star break, will take on the Indians. 13-game lead starting today's play. Sunday night, Orioles-Indians, 8 o'clock on ESPN.
Rafi hit number 36 today. Eric Davis hitting his 27th straight. What a great story that is.
Can they catch up? Long way to go and a short time to do it for as far behind as they got. Michael Tucker grounded out his first time up, takes a strike on the outside corner. Ryan Klesko's on at first base. 4 hits for the Braves so far off Andy Ashby.
Orioles are really going to have to play well and catch some breaks. The Red Sox, I think, have 30 of their next 46 or 30 of their last 46 at Fenway.
1 strike count. Ashby with a look. Talking to Bobby Cox and Bruce Bochy today about the rule regarding postseason play, Dave, that if the wild card team comes out of the same division you, the #1 team in the league, are in, you can't play the wild card team. And both Cox and Bochy said not fair.
I agree.
1-1 count. Take the Atlanta Braves. They're going to finish probably with the best record. I mean, it could be either they or the Padres. But if it's Atlanta and New York were to win the wild card race, then Atlanta would not play the #4 team, New York. They'd have to play the #3 team, probably Houston, because of the rule that you can't play the same team in your division in that first round of the playoffs. In the American League, it's almost guaranteed it's going to happen because the Yankees clearly are going to win the East, and Boston, not clearly, but real good shot at being the wild card team. So they can't play one another.
Well, they keep evolving and changing the rules. This year, for the first time, the team with the best record is going to have a natural home field advantage. They have not had it in the past. But maybe they'll take a look at this situation, too, with the wild card. I agree. I mean, I think the team with the best record should play the wild card.
Yeah.
You got to have something to play for. At least they got home field advantage now. The first round is going to go 2-2-1. Whereas before, it used to be 2 at home and then 3 on the road. That wasn't really an advantage.
No. Tucker hitting at .258 with a runner at first base. 3-2 count on him. Klesko goes, and it's foul back. The reason that they did that would not allow the team in the wild card to play against the best team if it was in the same division. They felt the teams had played so often during the regular season that it just would be unseemly to have those 2 teams playing again, like Atlanta and the New York Mets.
But they don't do that.
No, with interleague play, yeah, it's an unbalanced schedule. They'll be there somewhere. The Atlanta Braves know it. And so do the San Diego Padres. 3-2 count again. Klesko goes, swung on and missed. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Yes. The catchers really contributing in this game as Myers guns down Klesko after Tucker went down swinging.
Well, Myers throwing at 35% this year. This time, Klesko didn't have a real good jump, and Greg really delivered a perfect strike to second base. Klesko does what he's supposed to do there, not take a real big lead. You're not trying to steal a base. You're just moving. And Gomez pulls that one and tags Klesko, who is caught stealing.
3 strikeouts in the game now. You see the numbers for Myers. Very fine percentage. And the slider is outside with 2 down, nobody on. The opposing catcher, Eddie Perez, up, grounded out his first time up. 3.08 average for Perez on the year. Both pitchers getting some help from their defense, and that's not unusual for these 2 teams. Outside corner, strike 1-1.
Thinking about the Braves and this magnificent run they've had, this will be their 8th consecutive winning year. Some people say, well, how does that stack up? Well, how about the Yankees, 1926 to 64? 39 consecutive winning years.
That's unbelievable.
And as far as a decade goes, the Braves have dominated in this decade, but nowhere close to what the Yankees did during the 1930s. They were 424 games above 500 in that decade. The Braves are about 220.
John Smoltz and the pitching staff of this club obviously has made the difference. He got him. Ashby now with 4 strikeouts, no runs, 1 hit. He faced only 3 in the inning, and the Lockhart home run continues to be the only one up on the board. First inning for the Braves, the 14th home run of the year off Ashby. In between innings, Ashby said to his battery mate, "Thank you, Greg Myers." He's 2 for 2 and throwing out base stealers in this ball game. Maddux goes back to work here. Kilvio Veras at the plate. The leadoff batter who popped out his first time up was up there on the Ashby strikeout. And they got Gomez down at second base. Maddux gets the ground ball, but it's a base hit into center field. Well, the leadoff man on here in the 4th inning. 2 out of 4. Leadoff man has been on for the Padres.
Well, again, you think back to the strategy of last inning. Bruce Bochy starting the runner, figuring if Gomez made it, he'd be in scoring position. Worst case scenario is you got your fastest runner with 21 stolen bases leading off. Veras gets aboard. Let's see if the Padres can make it pay off.
Maddux now with a runner at first base, and Veras has got good speed. 29 pitches thrown so far. He's given up 2 hits, both singles. Caminetti had the leadoff single in the 2nd inning. Greg Maddux coming in with a 1.53 ERA. That is number 1. We've got the number 1 and 4 best ERAs in this game, in Maddux at Ashby. 2.48 for Finley on the year, who applied to center his first time up. 12 for 60 lifetime for Finley off Maddux. Veras back to first with Galarraga holding.
Kilvio's had 20 steals every year that he's been healthy. He led the National League in steals 1 year with the Florida Marlins.
He is 6th this year. And Maddux again varies up how he holds runners. That time just a step off with no throw. Sometimes he steps off then throws. Sometimes the normal shuffle step to the plate to hurry it up. Nobody out here. 1-0 count. Veras goes. Inside pitch swung on and missed. What a throw! Oh, mercy. You talk about a gun on the release. Eddie Perez, you can't get rid of a ball any faster than that.
I tell you, Maddux doing a better job of holding runners. That was a hit and run. But Eddie Perez, unbelievable. You see the jump, so-so. Watch the work by Perez on a tough pitch to handle, and still throws a great ball down to second base. Watch the release time on this throw. That's incredible.
Wow, what a job. He came into this game appropriately talking about the 2 great pitchers. They may end up talking about their catchers more than the pitchers. Each of them 2 for 2 and throwing out base stealers. Swung on and missed by Finley, or did he foul tip it? Nope. Hunter Wendelstedt says he never got it.
Finley's trying to buy the foul tip, but Hunter Wendelstedt says no way.
So the umpire, remember this is his first game behind the plate in the majors, working with his dad at second base, Harry Wendelstedt. That's Hunter Wendelstedt. Bruce Bochy comes out.
I think Bruce might just be saying, would you check with the third base umpire to see if maybe he saw anything, but evidently there's going to be no check. Hunter said, look, I'm right here. I can hear a foul tip.
Or ask your father, will you?
We'll see if we can pick anything up here. Nothing in that picture looked like he fouled it. That ball was dive bombing.
Didn't look like it. So Maddux quickly has 2 down here. Tony Gwynn up. Gwynn grounded back to the mound his first time up. And that one he rifles right center field. Michael Tucker over, can't get it. That'll go to the wall. Gwynn's on his way to second base. And this 459 hitter off Greg Maddux continues his mastery over one of the game's great pitchers.
Tony Gwynn has had 88 plate appearances against Greg Maddux and has never struck out. Gary just gave you the numbers. 459 lifetime coming in. 1 for 2. He inside out of this ball, so instead of it hooking back to Michael Tucker, it kept fading away from him. And Tony settles in with a double. Don't count him out of the bat title just yet. He got as low as 304. There you see the updated numbers, and throw in 10 walks and 2 sacrifice bunts. That's 88 plate appearances with no strikeouts.
Those 35 hits off Maddux are more than any other batter has. Gwynn at second base, 2 down. Ken Caminiti trying to tie the game up with a base hit here. And the pitch is up high for a ball. Caminiti had a single his first time up. Gwynn's hit is the third off Maddux and the first extra base hit. Caminiti, a 266 hitter off Maddux. Switch hitter, 262 right, 276 left. And he hits that one to deep left field, way back. Klesko at the wall. Goodbye, home run. Ken Caminiti. A 2-run shot. Padres up 2-1.
For Maddux's great success among throwing strikes, getting ground balls, is keeping the ball in the ballpark. That's only the 7th home run he's given up all year, and Caminiti just took an outside fastball, and he got enough of it. He knew when he hit it, it was a home run.
Padres lead 2-1. Maddux knew. Wally Joyner up. So a 2-run homer, 22 on the year for Caminiti. First he's ever had off Maddux. And Joyner goes the other way. Klesko in the corners, got room and hauls it in. But the San Diego Padres, on one swing of the bat by that man, Ken Caminiti, have taken a 2-1 lead. Welcome back here. Ken Caminiti, the home run, 2-run shot, giving the Padres the lead. And Caminiti has been a huge part of this San Diego success.
He really has. Unanimous MVP in 1996. He has specialized in great second halves. The last 3 years, he's averaged .335, 21 homers, 62 runs batted in the second half of the season. And if he gets hot, he may be able to take over where Greg Vaughn did for about the first 100 games of the season.
Greg Maddux giving up the home run. Dave said that's only 7 off Maddux all year. And remember, he's got a 1.53 earned run average coming into this game. So on one swing of the bat against Maddux, they already have more runs the Padres do than he normally gives up in 9 innings. 2-1. We go to the 5th inning. There are the lines for the 2 starters. Ashby now with the lead. He gave up the home run to Lockhart in the first. Andrew Jones up, takes a strike. It'll be Jones, then Maddux in the top of the order, Ozzie Guillen. 0 for 3 in last night's game, and a walk in his only at-bat in this one. Check swing, he went way around on that one. Strike 2.
Andrew with 20 home runs this year, but still can be pitched to quite easily. You make a mistake, though, he has lightning, and you have to remember, seems like he's been around a while. He's still only 21 years old. As long as he keeps producing, his future is unlimited.
Young man who's just got to get himself a little self-control. That's how he treats the game.
Yeah, I had a long talk with Pat Corrales, first base coach and kind of a mentor to Andrew, and he said, trust me, he said, this kid is really coming along. We've had to jump his case a few times, but he said he's getting with the program.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Ashby has walked 2, struck out 4, and misses with a slider away. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crowd still buzzing about the 2-run homer. Picked up off Maddux to give their club the lead. Give Ashby a run to work with here. 2-2 delivery. Swung on and missed. That is strikeout number 5 for Ashby. Lots of major league action. Michael Kim, what you got?
All right, Gary, at Busch Stadium, 10th inning, score tied at 4. Mark McGwire on to hopefully break it for the Cardinals, but he strikes out facing Dennis Cook. 1 for 4, 3 strikeouts for Big Mac, and still 4-4 in the 11th.
Dennis Cook has been a huge surprise for the New York Mets this season. Very, very successful in his work against right-handers in particular, even though he's a left-handed pitcher. He can nail right-handers. In fact, they hit less off him than the lefties do. Ball taken by Maddux.
He was a huge factor in that Marlins walk through the World Series. He was absolutely brilliant in postseason last year. I think he gave up 1 hit in like 10 innings.
He's continued that this season out of the bullpen for New York. 2-0 delivery to Maddux, and a strike fastball taken on the outside corner.
Ashby, for whatever reason, is really into the flow of the game now. He's struck out 3 in a row and throwing harder and with more confidence.
And Maddux, a chopper, went off the plate. Silvio Veras at second base has got it over to Wally Joyner. And that will retire the opposing pitcher, and there are 2 down. Well, the National Football League preseason on ESPN, it's here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Miami Dolphins. The Bucs coming off their first playoff berth in 15 years. Trent Dilfer, the quarterback. Running back Warren Dunn, their stars. Jimmy Johnson has Dan Marino. A new attack, a new ground game. Tomorrow, ESPN coverage begins with a special edition of NFL Tonight at 7:30 Eastern.
Well, let's see, with preseason football on the horizon, that means that hockey must be close.
Well, probably the hockey camps have already opened. Ozzie Guillen up, 2 down, nobody on. Guillen drew a walk. His last time up, he struck out. Fouls that one off outside of first. 1-4-1 for the Braves, 2-4-0 for the Padres.
Newsflash, I have a newsflash for you.
Gotcha.
The Yankees won today.
Amazing.
That is an amazing story. David Cohn got his 17th to lead the majors. Only 11-2 today over Minnesota.
Most American League teams say it's totally out of hand at Yankee Stadium. I mean, they are piling up just unbelievable numbers, and to Joe Torre's credit and all the Yankees, it's been every day. They've got the attitude, that juggler. Doesn't matter how many wins, are never enough. Guillen with a 1-1, and that one off his foot, and he's down.
Get up, Ozzie. That's going right down off. I know how you feel. Walt Weiss saying maybe I'm going to have to play a little sooner than I thought. Rafael Belliard is still with this club, but he has not played since first week of the season with a torn quad muscle. Boy, Ozzie in pain.
They don't want to put Walt Weiss in. They could. It just takes time usually to walk these off, unless, of course, you've done the damage by breaking a little bone down there. And
boy, that's flush off the instep right there.
Weiss could play, but Bobby Cox says, look, we're so far ahead. I want him for postseason, and I want him healthy. I also want him ready. So if I rest him now, we get to the last month of the year. Then he can come out and play and get himself back into game-playing condition, Walt Weiss. And I don't have to take this chance now with so many games left to play him and maybe aggravate that quad muscle even more. So Walt's sitting and Ozzie's playing. So again, we'll walk this one off. We're talking about New York Yankees and the standings. I mean, the Red Sox are having this great year and are absolutely buried. 87 wins and 29 losses. You got to be kidding me. Then you look at Baltimore. I mean, they're above 500. That ought to get you somewhere near. 26 and a half games out. And Guillen swings and misses. So Ashby comes away with the strikeout 2 in this inning. 6 on the game. Retires the side in order with the Padres up 2-1.
All right, Joey.
All right, let her rip, Joey.
Those are my boys. The brains and the brawn behind the best T-ball team in Arizona. The brains is my son-in-law.
San Diego 3-1 winners in game 1 of this series against the Atlanta Braves last night. On the year, the Atlanta Braves have a 3-2 edge. Padres up in this one by 1, and Greg Myers will be leading it off. Myers, Rivera, and Gomez. Greg Maddux has walked none, struck out 3, giving up the 2 runs and 4 hits. Played at second by Lockhart, and that will take care of Myers. 1 away. We talked about Harry Wendel's stat. the father working with his son, Hunter Wendelstedt, behind the plate. Hunter Wendelstedt's first game behind the plate at the major league level.
It's very exciting for me to have my son make it to the big leagues. It's something we dreamed about. And I have to bring in a sad note. My dad passed away last night. He was our biggest fan, but he stayed around to see us go on the field for that first time. And I know he's looking up there from heaven tonight. And Mom, my heart's with you. I'll be home soon.
We send our condolences to Sis Wendelstedt, Harry Sr.'s wife, who's watching tonight, Harry's mom. What a story. And there's Hunter behind the plate, who's already had his first little set to an argued third strike foul ball that didn't happen with Bruce Bochy and Finley. Welcome to Major League Baseball. 1-1, and that one's bounced in the dirt on Rivera.
Hunter probably said, you can question my eyesight, but my hearing is just fine. There was no foul tip.
He is an umpire coming up from the minors to work for vacationing major league umpires. And this is the one series he'll get to work with his dad. Fouled off, and the count is 2-2.
You're looking at the guy at the plate right now, Ruben Rivera, that may have stood, according to reports, between the Padres getting Randy Johnson and the Astros. Woody Woodward insisted on getting Rivera. With Steve Finley's contract up this year, the Padres think that Rivera is going to be an outstanding replacement eventually.
Maddux gets the call, third strike. Rivera didn't think so. It'll be 4 Ks for Maddux and 2 down here in the 5th inning.
Take a look at the pitch. You know that Eddie Perez sets up outside. And Maddux hits the glove. And Hunter rings it up.
2 down. Chris Gomez. And first ball swinging, fouls it off, hitting at 247, reached on an error in the 3rd inning.
One of the things Bochy would love to see is Gomez get aboard here and get Ashby out of the way so he can get back to the top of the lineup with Veras in the 6th.
0-1 delivery. Missed outside with it. Greg Maddux. Those are the numbers for him so far tonight. Only 47 pitches thrown. Big blow, the 2-run homer by Ken Caminiti in the 4th inning. And that fastball's a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Greg Maddux has not allowed more than 2 runs in 17 of his last 19 starts. Swung on and missed. Gomez goes down swinging. That's 5 Ks for Maddux. A 1-2-3 inning. San Diego Padres, though, have used the long ball effectively. They've got the 2-1 lead. Coming up.
They're 500. They're 8 over since the All-Star break. Not a quantum leap, but they are playing a lot more solid baseball. They just swept the Expos.
And Lockhart leads it off for the Atlanta Braves against Andy Ashby. 31-year-old right-hander, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Lockhart, the home run in the 1st inning, his 8th of the year. 14th given up by Ashby on the season. Opposition hitting just 238 off this right-hander. Left-handers 227, right-handers 250. Predominant ground ball pitcher, great cut fastball, sinking fastball. Split finger he's developed this year with Stewart, Dave Stewart, the pitching coach. Got a great repertoire and moves the ball around well. 2 ball, 1 strikeout on Lockhart.
Well, again, his big thing this year is Stewart teaching him the forkball, getting him to be more aggressive and not walking batters. He's passed 2 in this game. That's the first time in 8 games he's walked more than 1.
And that pitch is down low. See, Dave Stewart, the pitching coach, does not wear the jerseys that everybody else on this team wears. I was joking him again tonight. He thinks those blue jerseys the Padres have embarrass the team. But he will not wear them. That one misses outside. And there is the 3rd walk given up in this game by Andy Ashby. So he wears that jacket all the time, even though it's 98 degrees.
3rd baseman, Chipper Jones.
I didn't think those uniforms were that bad. Here's our in-game box score for you. Take a look at the home run by Lockhart that's accounted for the only one up there. You see 165 homers leading the National League for these Braves, but not a lot off Ashby except for Chipper Jones, who can never hit him. Wouldn't you know it?
Leadoff walk, not good when you got Chipper Jones, Galarraga, and Klesko coming.
Triple and a single for Chipper Jones, who had the lowest batting average of anyone against Andy Ashby, who had faced him 20 or more times. So tonight, of course, he goes 2 for 2.
Chipper doesn't like us to say bad things about him, so he got those numbers.
Got to respect that guy. I mean, it's a guy they said spring training, you can't play third base, you'll never be any good there.
Yeah, right.
So he's turned himself into one of the game's real fine defensive third baseman. 1 strike pitch to him by Ashby's foul ball.
Well, again, Ashby, 51 2/3 innings coming in tonight. Only 4 walks, but now he's added 3 to that over 5+ innings. But that has been a huge key for him. Throwing strikes, working quickly, keeping the pitch count real low. He's already at 77 pitches tonight. Remember, earlier, about a month ago, he had a 75-pitch complete game, the lowest in a long time in the majors.
Most he has walked this year in a game is 4, and he's done that 3 times. Chipper Jones takes that pitch outside. Good eye with a 2-strike count. He let it go. A ball and 2 strikes. Fans wanted to umpire that one. 8th in average, 8th in home runs, 1st in runs scored, all for Chipper Jones. That's the kind of battle Ashby's facing here, even though he's had great success over the years against him. Again, that high set 1-2 count. Runner not going, and the fastball's way inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's making those numbers more respectable with the 2 for 2 tonight. Right now, as Ashby wants to make something happen here, 3-2, chances are Lockhart's going to be on the move. So he does not want to force a natural running situation.
2-2 count. Lockhart, and the pitch is outside, 3-2. So Jones refusing to go after pitches out of the strike zone after falling behind 2 strikes, takes it full.
Could be the biggest pitch of the game when we look back on it coming right here. This could either set up the Braves for a big inning, or Ashby could get a key out, or maybe 2 here.
Chipper Jones 5th in walks. Lockhart goes. Grounded foul outside of first. Take the 3-2 count again. Really have to work against Chipper Jones. I mean, he's such a great eye. He won't swing at bad pitches. He draws all those walks. Very difficult to strike out. Andres Galarraga, big cat waiting.
Not much margin for error when you're pitching against Greg Maddux. He made 1 mistake, but don't count on him making a bunch. Huge part of the game for Ashby here.
3-2 count. Lockhart goes. Chipper Jones grounded right where Veras had moved out of. On his way to third base is Lockhart. Gwynn will get it back in. It wasn't a hit and run. But if you want to know how to do a hit and run, you can look at that and say, here's the way you do it.
Well, my all-time pet peeve on why infielders move too soon. That ball was right where Veras was standing. I'm not sure why he was covering with Chipper Jones swinging anyway. And you watch where this ball goes and where Veras was. It goes right through where he was. He crossed over too soon. Cheat a little bit towards the bag and move in. You catch that ball easily, you might be able to get a double play. That could be the key play in this ball game. I do not understand. I've talked about it before in the air. I do not understand why infielders play that far from the bag, and as soon as the runner breaks, they cross their feet and they just leave a wide open hole.
3 of the 5 hits for the Braves have been off the bat of Chipper Jones. He's on at first base, 3 for 3, and Andres Galarraga's up 2 on and nobody out. Galarraga's hit into a fielder's choice, and he is struck out. 4th in home runs in the league and 6th at RBIs coming into today's play. And as we said, a terror against Ashby in his career. That one swung on and missed, 1-1. A big moment here in this ball game for Ashby, for both these teams.
When you get 2 evenly matched teams, and you figure these teams have a chance to see each other in the postseason, it's going to be little things like that play that are going to make the difference in the series.
Galarraga on the 1-1 makes it 1-2. Galarraga's 264 with runners in scoring position this year. Not a particularly high number for someone who's driven in 93 runs. Means he's had a lot of chances. And he does here with Lockhart on at third. Chipper Jones on at first. 1-2 delivery by Ashby. Galarraga waves on the off-speed slider away. Struck him out.
Well, we'll go back to the third inning and watch the pitch sequence to Galarraga that Ashby got him. He gave him a pitch there up in the zone, but then he just stayed down and down again, 2-2, and he stays down and strikes him out. And he comes right back. Here's the pitch in this at-bat, strike 3. You keep the ball down to the big cat, you're going to get him.
And he struck him out twice. Now a chance for an inning-ending double play. Klesko fouls it back. He had a single his last time up. 1 for 2 in the game. First and third still, 1 away.
Ryan shaking his head. He thought he had one there.
That was a fat pitch. Ryan Klesko's got power, of course. 7 home runs at home, 9 on the road. And he fouls that one back again. Strike 2.
Well, Ashby's going to have to pitch over what I consider a defensive mistake in the inning. Of course, he walked Lockhart to get himself in trouble to start the inning. But in theory, if Vera stays at home or doesn't cross his feet, they might get a double play, and Ashby should be sitting on the bench already after the strikeout of Galarraga. So that's ifs and buts.
2:32 with runners in scoring position for Klesko. Down on the count, 2 strikes. And in the dirt, good stop made by Myers. 1-2. Klesko hitting at 284 with a 1 for 2 he's added here in this game. As many have noted, this is not a series that's going to decide anything as far as the season's concerned. Both these teams are going to go to the playoffs. As Chipper Jones said, boy, we sure would like to do some mental damage. In the dirt again, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now, on the other side of the coin, in the 1990s, the Braves have absolutely owned the Padres, 68-24, and the Padres getting tired of seeing the Braves beat up on them, especially Tony Gwynn, who's been here for all of them. Tony's the only guy that's been around since '93, but Tony has watched his Braves dominate the Padres in the '90s.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Fake to third. Look to first. No movement there. Ashby has struck out 7 in this game now, along with the 3 walks. He's really tried to get these hitters, these power hitters, to chase pitches outside of the strike zone once he gets a hit. 2-2 on Klesko. And he got him. 8 strikeouts.
Ashby doing the best job he can to overcome the defensive mistake. He's 2/3 of the way out of the woods. He's still got Michael Tucker to go. And this was a breaking ball. That's probably the splitter. It appeared to go straight down, and Klesko could not get it.
8 strikeouts. His season high is 11. That is also his career high. No fly balls. That is not unusual. 7 ground ball outs and 8 strikeouts.
I'm just looking to see the only balls that were airborne. Chipper Jones, both of his hits, the line single and the line triple. And the home run by Lockhart, obviously. Everything else has been on the ground, even the base hits or strikeouts. Stu wanted to impart a little bit of wisdom. Not sure exactly what that chat was about. You know, some pitchers don't like to have their rhythm broken when they're in a good groove. But then again, when Dave Stewart comes to the mound, what are you going to do? Tell him to go back or punch your lights out?
That's right. Still, he would when he was playing. He would have punched the lights out of the coach who came out to him.
There's a little bit to say about that fear factor in certain coaches. I mean, there are some coaches that command pretty good respect, and I think this guy's right at the head of the list right now.
He's got those game eyes going as a coach every game that he had when he used to pitch.
Well, the other thing is he is so recent as far as a contemporary player that a lot of the players who are not historians of the game still remember Dave Stewart because they watched him on TV.
2 down, first and third. Can Ashby work his way out of it? Michael Tucker, ground ball, second base. Played by Barris, and he does. Ashby, after the first 2 were on, first and third, nobody out, strikes out Galarraga, strikes out Klesko, gets Tucker on the ground ball.
Kirk Wendell facing Luis Ordaz, and that ends the inning. It's 4-4 going to the bottom of the 12th. Gary?
Michael, thank you very much. We go back to work here, and just what we expected, a great pitcher's duel. A 2-1 lead for the San Diego Padres. Andy Ashby, who got the job done. Struck out his first time up. Greg Maddux missing down low to him 1-1. Great to have you with us, Gary Thorne, Dave Campbell. This is game 2 of the 3-game set before a great crowd here in San Diego. The 2 best teams in the National League going at it. San Diego 77 wins, second only to these Braves who have 79. And both pitchers, that man Andy Ashby and the man working to him, are trying to become the first 16-game winners in the National League. Night worth buying a ticket. 1-2 delivery. Down low to Ashby, 2-2.
One of the differences that may come up in this game, Ashby already 90-plus pitches in the ball game. The Padres have said, especially with the addition of Randy Myers, they have turned this into a 7-inning ball game. Braves bullpen's been decent lately, but still has a question mark or 2, so it looks like it may come down to the Padre bullpen versus Maddux.
2-ball, 2-strike count here.
Maddux is due to hit 3rd in the 7th inning. Maybe a decision time for Bobby Cox.
Padres leading on the 2-run homer by Caminiti in the 4th inning. Lockhart the home run in the 1st inning. The only run the Braves have been able to put up, even though the Braves are out hitting the Padres 5-4. Maddux has won 3 and lost 2 in his last 5 starts. 18-10 lifetime against San Diego for Greg Maddux. 2-2 delivery to Ashby, and Ashby battling him, fights it off again. Pretty good at bat here. Andy Ashby making Greg Maddux throw some pitches. Ashby, not noted for getting a lot of hits, has got 7 of them this year. 7 for 57 coming into the game with a couple of doubles and a lot of foul balls.
See Greg shooting for number 200 tonight. We had Roger Clemens' 200th win last year on ESPN. This will be the 9th pitch to Ashby, the most of any batter that's walked up there tonight for the Padres.
2-2 delivery. Well, maybe. We'll wait on it. Greg Maddux, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Add to it. He won it, but Ashby, the good at bat, 6 Ks.
Well, Ashby certainly earned his spurs. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Struck out Galarraga with a great slider. Looks like another slider on 2nd look to Klesko, and then gets Michael Tucker on the ground ball to Veras. He may have won his ball game right there, and Dave Stewart says, that's what I want. That's what I'm telling you. Last year, the Padres starters averaged 5 2/3 innings, and Stewart walked in and said, no more of that. We're going deeper in the ball games. And Ashby has been his star pupil this year.
Ashby, as far as those complete games are concerned, has 5 complete games and a shutout to his credit. He had only 2 complete games and no shutouts last year. Gilvio Veras, the leadoff batter, is singled in 2 at-bats. 7-game hit streak now for Gilvio Veras and a .270 average. He against Maddux has had 3 hits, 15 at-bats in his career. 1 down, base is empty. Bottom of the 6th inning. Maddux, the overhand off speed. Jones won't get to this one. Andrew Jones on 1 hop, and Veras is on. That is his 2nd hit. Big games elsewhere. Michael Kemp. Michael.
All right, Gary, we have a run to show you from Chavez Ravine, Florida, and LA, bottom of the 5th. Eric Young facing Kurt Ojala. He goes opposite field. His 21st double of the season, his 25th RBI, as Charles Johnson breaks a scoreless tie. 1-0 Dodgers. Back to you.
Dodgers still have hopes for the wild card. They're in the chase. Mets, Giants, Cubs. We'll keep posted on that game by Michael on that Mets game. St. Louis, they are tied in the 12th inning at 4-4. Cubs won today. So the Mets, in order to retain first place in the wild card by a half game, would have to win at St. Louis tonight. Finley hitting at .248. Takes the Maddux fastball down low, ball 1.
You know, one thing about the Dodgers, and I've said this, and I know Dodger fans are sick of me saying it, they have not had longer than a 3-game winning streak this year. They're going to win the wild card. That's going to have to come to an end. They're going to have to string off 6 or 7 in a row to get back in that thing deep into it.
It's amazing in light of that they're even that close.
Yeah. The good news is they haven't had a losing streak longer than 4.
Steve Finley up, 1 down. 1-0 count on him. Padres up 2-1, and they've got Gilvio Veras, 6th leading base stealer in the league on. He's been thrown out once by Eddie Perez tonight, and Maddux trying to hold him close.
Well, Greg has regained his composure after the home run by Caminetti. But I'm sure his spirits were dampened a bit by the job Ashby did in the top of the 6th inning.
Finley waiting. Runner not going, and the pitch is outside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes on Finley, who is struck out and flied out.
Maddux generally does not try the slide step, but you can tell he's just a little bit distracted by Veras. Doesn't want him to get a good jump, and consequently he's fallen behind Finley 2-0.
Hitters count here. And stayed outside with it and didn't get the corner call, and it's 3-0.
Well,
Finley's been hot.
We know who's on deck. Maddux knows who's on deck. Guy that's hitting .460 lifetime against Greg Maddux.
There he is. Runner goes. Pitch up high, ball 4. First walk given up by Maddux. And the Padres, with 1 down, have 2 on here in the 6th.
Some people wonder where Veras is going, but 3-0 sometimes is a great count to steal on. Robbie Alomar used to do that a lot, just figuring the pitcher pays absolutely no attention to the runner, and you can sometimes buy a base on an automatic strike, but it was ball 4, so it all became moot.
Wild Day Conference, Tony Gwynn coming up. We'll look at our in-game box score tonight from San Diego. The home run by Caminetti, the 22nd of the year, a 2-run shot, has given the Padres the lead in this game. You see Veras is 2 for 3 getting on, and Tony Gwynn coming up, a 1 for 2, a double, and he scored in the 4th inning ahead of Caminetti on the home run. There is Caminetti watching Tony Gwynn's at bat. Gwynn hitting at .324, 2 on and 1 out. Takes the first pitch, strike on the outside corner. Tony had missed some games here with that Achilles tendon that's bothered him. Got back in the lineup against Atlanta last night. First game back off that minor injury. He wasn't on the DL or anything. He went 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. 1 strike count. Doesn't chase. 1-1. Fastball away. How good is he as a hitter? Against 25 Cy Young winners, his career batting average is .341.
Lifetime .340, so he's pretty consistent.
Wow. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One of the game's all-time great hitters.
And on top of that, one of the game's all-time great people.
Yeah. Got a chance here with Veras at second. Finley on at first. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Maddux and Tony Gwynn. Here's a matchup for you. Chopped off outside of first. It'll stay 1 and 2.
Remember again, 88 plate appearances. Never a strikeout against Greg Maddux. He had a pretty feeble swing at that 1-2 pitch, but he was able to hack it foul.
Gwynn is batting .322 with runners in scoring position. He does have a shot at his 9th title. Swung on, down to first. Galarraga knocks it down. He'll go to the bag himself. The big cat with some defensive help near the line. 2 down.
Talked about Wally Joyner earlier. Big Cat has won a couple of Gold Gloves back in his days with Montreal. He has brilliant range, great quickness. He is a big man, but he is a terrific defensive player. And Bobby Cox is going to talk a little strategy with Maddux here with an open base and Wally Joyner up next. Tony Gwynn denied on an excellent play by Galarraga. Maddux tried to come in on him, and Tony whistled it. Cat knocked it down, and will take it himself. He has great quickness.
Andres Galarraga, the help, now setting up runners at second and third. Ken Caminetti, the big blow so far. 4th inning, and Tony Gwynn on in front of him, and Maddux, one that was away, and not far enough away, out of the ball yard, and Caminetti going for another one, fouls this one off. 22 home runs on the year now for Ken Caminetti, and 7 given up by Maddux.
Well, this is not a news flash, but Bobby Cox calls Greg Maddux the smartest player he's ever been around. He just went out and talked to Greg and said, what do you want to do in this situation? And Greg told him. Cox went back to the dugout.
And he's pitching to Caminetti, first base open with Wally Joyner on deck.
Caminetti more of a free swinger than Joyner, but Joyner is 0 for 2, where Caminetti is 2 for 2.
Caminetti has been a red-hot Padre. Inside to him. Maddux may work around him here. We'll see. 2-1.
Yeah, Caminetti had a great swipe at that first pitch, and Maddux may have decided that was too good.
73 pitches thrown by Maddux. 2-1 delivery. Outside there. 3-1.
Remember, this 25-pitch inning was started with 10 pitches to Andy Ashby, who really battled Maddux.
And they'll intentionally walk him with a count at 3-1. So the second walk, first intentional, given up, goes to Ken Caminetti and loads the bases for Wally Joyner.
Only did that to face the man with the best batting average with men in scoring position in the major leagues. That's the kind of respect that they have for Caminetti.
Wally Joyner at 427 with runners in scoring position. Yet, in a slump at the moment. He's 0 for 2 in this game, 1 for his last 15. 307 on the year, and Maddux up high to him, ball 1, nowhere to put him. Vera started the inning off with a single. Finley drew the walk. Gwynn retired. Now Caminetti on with the intentional pass. Ashby had started it striking out. 2 down. Off speed, took something off the fastball. 1-1.
I do not have the answer to this, but I would love to know when is the last time Greg Maddux walked in a run. I'll bet it's over 6 years.
And probably with another team, not the Atlanta Braves. Wally Joyner, 1-1. Fastball, sped it up a little bit that time, 1-2. Gilby Overis on at third base. Steve Finley's on at second. He had the walk. The intentional pass to Caminetti at first. 1-2 count, 2 away. Maddux goes a little bit further outside, 2-2.
With Maddux, you just never know, but he may have gone away to try to set up that swing back on the inside to Joyner. We'll keep an eye on it. He likes to start the ball inside, either the changeup or the fastball, and run it back across the inside corner.
2-2 delivery, just off the end of the bat. Wally Joyner, 3 hits and 20 at-bats lifetime against Maddux, and you're seeing in this at-bat the great success of Maddux. He never overpowers anybody. He doesn't have that kind of stuff, but he changes speeds on everything all the time and moves it around. 2-2 count, 2 down. Swung on to first, and it's off Galarraga. There scores. Finley will score. Runner going to third. Tucker's throw not in time. No play at second base. Wally Joyner, 2 RBIs. 4-1 Padres.
Well, Galarraga has been brilliant defensively, but that ball just ate him up and handcuffed him. Last night, the Braves gave away a run on a double error, one by Chipper Jones and one by Ryan Klesko. So the Braves defense has let Maddux down just a little bit, even though that was a tough ball to handle.
And Andy Ashby, the benefactor of the San Diego runs. A big 2-out smash by Wally Joyner. 2 RBIs. Second on the throw, credited with a single. Still second and third, 2 down. Myers up, strike 1. Greg Myers trying to keep this inning going as they decided to walk Caminetti intentionally. 33 pitches have now been thrown this inning by Maddux, who threw 49 through the first 5. And that to second base, bobbled. Lockhart's got time, and they get Myers. But a big 2-out hit by Wally Joyner, who despite a slump continues to put up the best numbers with runners in scoring position. 4-1 Padres. 7 with runners in scoring position. Big 2 RBI single, 6th inning. Padres now have a 4-1 lead. Defensive replacements now, as Greg Vaughn will come into the game and will play in left field. Rivera had been there. He'll move over to right, and Tony Gwynn will come out of the ball game.
Not necessarily a knock on Tony, who has lost a couple of steps, but with that Achilles problem and the problems he's had this year with his calf and sometimes his knee, when the Padres get a lead late, they put Rivera in.
Now Ashby, who's just gotten tougher as it's rolled along, has got 3 runs to work with as the Atlanta Braves have to battle from behind. Perez will lead it off, then Jones and Maddux do up, but the bullpen is busy for the Braves. And that's down low, 1-1.
Talked about the little things when 2 teams are evenly matched. Ashby was able to pitch over what I consider a defensive mistake as Charlton gets up. But there were a couple of little things last inning that paid off big for the Padres.
Powering pop-up to shallow right center field. And at the last second, Finley, who's in charge out there, got it. Perez retired.
One of them was the 10-pitch at bat that Ashby had. Just kept fouling things off, and you could see Maddux getting a little frustrated. The other one with Virus aboard. It looked like Greg was distracted a little bit. A 4-ball walk, a 4-pitch walk to Steve Finley to set up the inning. So just a couple of little things in the inning, and the Padres made it pay off with Joyner's hit off Galarraga's glove.
Padres have done it right here tonight. Lockhart, the home run in the first, the only Atlanta run off Andy Ashby, looking to become the National League's first 16-game winner. Andrew Jones up. He has had an 0 for 1 and a walk. He is struggling at this point in time. Andrew Jones not having a good August here. Last 10 games hitting under 190.
Kind of been a 3-inning sequence for both pitchers. Maddux was much better in the first 3 innings. He was ahead by a score of 1-0. Had only thrown 25 pitches, but Ashby got into his groove in the 4th through the 6th. And Maddux started to stagger a little bit.
Andrew Jones waiting, and a strike on the outside corner. By the way, that fly ball off the bat of Eddie Perez is the first put out by an outfielder in this game for San Diego. That's how good Ashby has been at keeping that ball down and getting ground balls. Missed inside with this one. Andrew Jones taking it in. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 away. Javi Lopez. He's going to be the pinch hitter for Maddux, who's going to be coming out of this game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. So far for the 31-year-old right-hander of San Diego.
Javi could stay in the game as well with Maddux leaving. That way he may get 2 at-bats in this game.
Andrew Jones lays off the breaking ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There's Javi Lopez. Maddux has given up the 4 runs on 6 hits in this game.
Ashby just hit the 100-pitch mark. I'm sure they'd like to get him through this and maybe through the 8th before they get to Hawk.
And Jones will fight it off to keep the count there. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Charlton just recalled yesterday from Richmond. Mark Wohler's going down. He pitched yesterday, did not have a good outing. Continues to be a mystery.
Mark Wohlers will be down for 10 games. Leo Mazzoni, of course, has worked with him day in, day out. That one misses down low. So Ashby equals his season high in walks in a game. That's 4. This one with 1 down here in the 7th inning. ABC Monday Night Football preseason action. Dallas and New England from Mexico City. Cowboys 0-2 after losing to Oakland this weekend, and once again controversy. What else could there be at the Cowboys camp? Well, Dan Boomer will get you caught up. All the stories, bring you the action. ABC's Monday Night Football, 8 o'clock Eastern Monday night. Maddux out of the game. Javi Lopez will be the pinch hitter against Ashby.
Well, Stewart made the call. We'll see who gets up. See if it might be Myers at this juncture. We got also Donnie Wall, Dan Maselli as setup guys.
There's the call that's been made.
RK.
Randall K, eh? Randall K. Myers. You can't miss that walk. Javi Lopez is a pinch hitter. What an acquisition made by San Diego to get the flame-throwing left-hander Randy Myers. They don't need him as a closer. He's going to be a setup man.
Well, you got Ian, Lockhart, 2 left-handed batters, and they would rather have Chipper Jones bat right-handed. Those would be the next 3 hitters if anything gets going here in the 7th inning.
Ashby will have something to say about that. Javi Lopez chops it down to 3rd. Caminiti, nice play. That's one. Return throw. They turn 2. Major League double play all the way around. Caminiti, Veras, and Joyner. 5-4-3, and the defense tonight for the Padres has really helped Andy Ashby. It remains a 4-1 lead. Charlton coming on.
My name is Chuck Davis, and I'm a football scout. I know every diner from Saginaw to Syracuse. I've been snowed in Laramie and scorched in...
Jones delivers a perfect strike. Greg Myers is throwing out a couple of runners. They turn a nice double play here, and you can see Andrew got into him pretty good, and Veras held his ground. So Andy Ashby, looks like he may be done as Myers is still throwing in the bullpen, and Ashby is due to hit third in the inning.
Well, he's made it back. Norm Charlton, released by the Baltimore Orioles, and those are the numbers that he had with Baltimore. Signed by Atlanta to a minor league contract as they try and fill the need in case Mark Wohlers can't get back to Major League pitching form.
Well, their bullpen actually of late has not been too bad at all. The young left-hander John Rocker threw extremely well last night. Rudy Cienez, with his 7th club, has been throwing lights out with a great hard changeup. And Kerry Lightenberg has pitched very well in the closer role.
There is Javi Lopez, who will stay in the game and bat in that number 9 spot. He will do the catching. Eddie Perez out of there, and it's fouled back by Ruben Rivera. Rivera's had an 0 for 2. Norm Charlton, 35 years old, signed to a minor league deal, appeared in a couple of games at AAA, 2 innings worked there. Contract purchase yesterday, as Dave said, from Richmond. Their AAA team did not appear in last night's game. Now the veteran back here with Atlanta to see if he can stick and add to the bullpen strength of this team. Foul back again, and the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes on Rivera. They've also added Paul Wagner, minor league contract. He was released by the Brewers. He's in their minor league system. They're trying to load up. 1-2, and that's way up high in the off speed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Get him right.
Well, so far, the Padres, they won last night 3-1. They're in control of this one 4-1. You see the bullpen comparison. Padres, a lot better numbers than Atlanta.
And that one chopped in the hole for a base hit on a 2-2. So Rivera's on. He gets his first base hit, and Norm Charlton, first batter faced, a single off it.
Well, Rubens hit over 300 against the lefties, only 147 against right-handers. I'm sure he was happy to see Norm Charlton come in. He went down and got a low pitch and just hit it in the hole between Chipper Jones and Ozzie Guillen.
That's 7 hits in the ball game now for the Padres. And it will bring up Gomez, hitting .246 on the year with an 0 for 2 in this ball game, and they charge in looking bunt with a 4-1 lead for San Diego, bottom half of the 7th inning, trying to tack on a couple of runs, or at least one more. Chipper Jones stays in at third base. Gomez facing Norm Charlton for the first time, and the left-handers throw over, keeping the runner Rivera close. Gomez checking to see if the bunt is on again here, as is the runner Rivera. Charlton, an extended stretch. The bunt comes back to him. He's got to go to first. Gets it to Lockhart, who moved over to cover. So currently Gomez with a sacrifice.
Padres have really executed very well in this series. We talked about maybe the one flub by Veras breaking, leaving a hole wide open, but a good sacrifice bunt. They've played flawless defense in the series, and a good sacrifice bunt by Chris Gomez to put a man in scoring position for Jim Leyritz, who will hit for Andy Ashby.
The runner on at second base, Rivera, and the pinch hitter, Jimmy Leyritz, coming up. Good job by Gomez to get the runner down there. The chance to add a run in this game. They can pick up the base hit. Leyritz 0 for his last 11. Norm Charlton gets a strike on the outside corner. Leyritz coming off the bench this year, 1 for 7 as a pinch hitter. He's appeared in only 31 games and only 69 at bats for Jimmy Leyritz. 1 down, 1 strike delivery. Norm Charlton's fastball gets away, but out in front of Javi Lopez, no advance.
I think the Braves remember Leyritz from the '96 World Series.
He was talking about that before the game. Jimmy Leyritz with the New York Yankees at that point. I was kidding, Jimmy. He said, you're turning into one of those guys who just follows teams to the postseason. He's done pretty well in that regard and has always had big hits postseason play, and did that year against the Atlanta Braves. 1-1 delivery to him, runner going, and that one to the gap in right center field. Long run, dive, Jones can't get it. Runner stopped halfway. Rivera makes the turn. Ozzie Guillen's relay throw, not in time. RBI pinch hit single by Leyritz. 5-1 Padres.
Well, Andrew closed ground on it. It just kept fading. It looked like he might get there. Gave it a great effort. Ruben Rivera was trying to steal third. He got between a rock and a hard place. Didn't know what was going on. As Leyritz finds the gap in right center field for a long single. You see the great effort by Andrew Jones. Fully extended just off the fingertips. Get back up by Michael Tucker.
5 runs and 8 hits now by the Padres. Leyritz comes through with a pinch hit single. Veras 2 for 3 in the game. And takes the pitch outside for a ball. Silvio Veras, switch hitter, will bat right this time. 289 right-handed, 260 right coming into this ball game. Or 260 left, rather. Had a big night already. 7-game hit streak for him. And Norm Charlton's pitch down low. So Norm Charlton back in the majors here has given up 2 singles and a sacrifice bunt.
Well, it has been a struggle for Charlton for about the last 2.5 years. I guess if you're left-handed and can throw strikes, you're still going to get a shot here now and then.
And he falls behind here. 3 balls and no strikes on Silvio Veras. Leo Mazzoni and Bob Cox. It is a concern. The bullpen came inside, got nothing with it. Walked it. So Norm Charlton surrenders the walk, putting runners on now at first and second base. This pitching summary brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paint and Wallpaper Stores.
Well, 2 guys that have put up some of the best numbers in the National League went head-to-head. Maddux was the better pitcher for 3 innings, but Ashby over the next 4 dominated. And right now he stands to win it. He has a 4-run lead. He pitched great. And the Braves were threatening in the 6th. First and third, nobody out. Struck out Galarraga and Klesko. Got Michael Tucker to bounce out. And all intents and purposes, that's where he won his game.
Steve Finley up there, runners on at first and second base. Finley walked his last time up and scored. A little dirt in the eye. Norm Charlton was getting ready to deliver. I really think the Atlanta Braves are justifiably concerned about this bullpen. Butler up now and throwing. The numbers are good, but they've got a. When you're relying on Kerry Lightenberg to be your closer, you've got to wonder. He has not been through that kind of pressure situation before. Check swing popped up, Ozzie Guillen.
Well, one thing Leo Mazzoni talked about Lightenberg, he said his demeanor has not changed from the time he was a setup man to the point where he's been a closer. And his numbers have been phenomenal. He's had 12 consecutive saves. He's only walked 1 guy over his last 17 outings. My feeling with Lightenberg, and I was a critic early on, was, I mean, hey, the kid's trying to prove to everybody that he's the guy. So we'll have to see.
Big task. Greg Vaughn will get his first at bat. Came into play left field. He was not a starter tonight, just to give him a break, because he has had a terrible August. I mean terrible. He's hitting 83. 0.83. The 4th lowest average in the league in the month of August.
Getting down to my numbers now.
Ooh, Lordy. 3 for 36 in the month of August. But a great year. He carried this team for half the season. Big home run cut, missed there. 1-1.
Well, he also, after the All-Star break, ignited this club, and really until about the last 15 games, I think it's 7 for 68 over the last 15, which is a $1.03. He has really carried the club until that time.
He's got 2 on here with 2 down. Oh, the weight of the screen. Norm Charlton had that one just get away, and it went on the fly all the way to the backstop.
Where's Bob Uecker when we need him? Is that just outside?
The old shades of Ryan Duran. Javi Lopez will not be charged with a pass ball. A 2-1 count, now 2 in scoring position for Vaughn. That's got to be one of the hardest pitches to throw in baseball. When you've just uncorked one all the way to the screen on the fly, that next pitch is not easy.
Well, the last time I saw Charlton throw a pitch like that was when he blew his elbow out. Tore the tendon in his elbow about 4 years ago.
3-1 count to Vaughn, and he walks him, and the bases are loaded. So Norm Charlton, not an auspicious start in an Atlanta Braves uniform. The bases are loaded for Ken Caminiti. Charlton's first inning of relief work. He's already walked 2. Ken Caminiti, lifetime against him. 1 for 29. Drills it deep to right. It is a foul ball off the wall. And the only hit Caminiti's ever had against Norm Charlton in 29 at-bats is a home run. And he almost had another one.
Caminiti trying to talk to this one. Lean. Looks like he's playing a game of pool.
Just missed. Already has 1 home run tonight. His 22nd came in the 4th inning. Norm Charlton misses up high to him there. 1-1. 2 down. Bases loaded. 5-1 Padres lead. They've got 1 run in here in the 7th inning and are trying to add more to it. Jimmy Leyritz, the RBI in the inning so far. Caminiti rips it down to third. Chipper Jones, a tough stop on a scalding ground ball by Caminiti. 1 run here in the 7th inning. They leave the bases loaded, but they're up 5-1. They, the Pods.
Shout it out.
Not mentioned, these are the 2 best teams right now. The Atlanta Braves 2 games better in the win column. Home field advantage is up for grabs here.
It really is, and the Padres have the best home record in the National League. Maybe it pales a little bit by what the Yankees have in the American League. Braves, on the other hand, came into this series with the best road record in the National League. I don't think we've proven anything yet, other than the fact that the Padres have played much more fundamentally sound in this series, and it looks like they're going to grab the first 2 games of the series.
There you see the records of these 2 teams. So a victory here by San Diego would give them 78 on the year and move them just 1 behind the Braves. And of course, the home field advantage we're talking about is in the postseason. If you're the #1 team in the league and finish that way in the regular season, then home field advantage is yours for the playoffs. So the Padres are doing battle for that. Ozzie Guillen up. Randall K. Myers, the left-hander, on in relief, as Andy Ashby will wait to see if he becomes the 16-game winner that he and Maddux were both after tonight, as Ashby's out of there. Ozzie Guillen has struck out, walked, struck out again, batting .287 on the season, and Randall K. Myers gets a strike. 1-1. One of the reasons they acquired Myers here in San Diego was to prevent another team, namely the Atlanta Braves, from getting him. He comes over from Toronto with a big contract that they probably just as soon would not have to pay, but they'd rather he be here than there.
Well, his numbers obviously weren't as good as last year, but it was going to be pretty tough to top last year. 45 out of 46 saves with a 1.57 ERA.
Myers' fastball hit by Guillen to center field. Got a lot of it. Finley's there.
Padres won in '96 without a left-hander in the bullpen. Basically went all last year without a left-hander in their bullpen, and they really have been looking for one. Again, Myers is a guy they're glad to have, but when you look at his contract in '99 and 2000, the Padres are going to owe him over $12 million.
Tony Graffinino will be the pinch hitter for Keith Lockhart. Lockhart had a home run and a walk in 3 plate appearances. Graffinino on as a pinch hitter. And Myers in, down low, ball 1.
Remember when they used to have the gentleman's agreement about letting guys get through waivers? too much at stake anymore, folks. So don't do that.
Not in this day and age. 2 for 16 for Graffinino as a pinch hitter. And he pops that one up off the left-hander to second base. Kilvio Veras. Rivera coming. Rivera wants it, and Rivera's got it. 2 down.
Always an easier play for the outfielder coming in than the infielder going back. Infielder gets on his heels, head starts bouncing, and the outfielder, the ball's in front of him. It's a much easier play.
So Randy Myers gets the first 2 that he faces here. 2 down, and Chipper Jones, who's had a perfect night, 3 for 3. 2 singles and a triple, upping his average to .326 on the season. And Myers' fastball is there for a strike. Tell you one number I was looking at, Randy Myers had inherited runners. When he's come into a game with runners on, he has not allowed any of them to score. 15 for 15 and leaving inherited runners on base. Good number for a guy you want in a setup situation.
And he did that last night with 2 of them, because when he came into the game in the 8th inning last night, runners at first and second, nobody out, he was able to strike out Graffinino and get Chipper Jones, and they brought in Maselli to pitch to Galarraga.
Right-handers, as you would expect, put up bigger numbers against Myers, hitting .271 with 3 homers. Right-handers are. Left-handers 229 with 1 home run off the left-hander.
You think Randall is nervous?
Randall K. Myers has never been nervous in his entire life. The only thing he was nervous about was when the day he was born, maybe. 1-2 pitch, fouled off.
Well, there's certainly something to be said for having a veteran pitcher who still has ability. He doesn't have the 95-mile-an-hour fastball he once had when he was with the Nasty Boys in Cincinnati, but he's developed a pretty good changeup. He's very savvy. He does not throw the ball in the middle of the plate very often.
And a real bad look. 1-2. Chipper Jones is out of there. Line drive to third. Caminetti's got it. So Myers comes on, retires the side in order, protecting that Padres 5-1 lead.
The dog ate.
New pitcher coming on. This is Adam Butler, who recently called up from Richmond last Thursday. In fact, Russ Springer placed on the DL, so this is the man taking his place. That's why the limited number of appearances. Wally Joyner against him, fouls the first pitch back. Wally Joyner, huge hit, 6th inning, 2 RBIs on a big single. Came off Greg Maddux. Maddux leaving the game, 6 innings, giving up 4 runs on 6 hits, walked 2, 1 intentional, struck out 6, gave up a home run to Caminiti, and Maddux could lose his 6th of the year here tonight. Adam Butler, 4th year professional baseball. Opportunity at the major league level for the first time this year.
Heard his name quite a bit at the expansion draft last year. Some people thought he might go in that draft, but he was not. So he's in the Braves system and gets a call up.
And Joyner, short hops at second base. Tony Graffinino has stayed in, will make the play, and Wally Joyner retired, 1 away in the 8th inning. We have had some spectacular plays by the catchers, including Perez, who started and got 2. Ozzie Guillen applying the tags twice, and Greg Myers helping out the starter Andy Ashby on plays early in the game, getting Guillen out at second base. This one played at the shortstop on Klesko. Catchers have mattered.
Yeah, and Carlos Hernandez, the other Padres catcher, generally the regular, has had some huge hits for him. They've got a great-looking prospect named Ben Davis. They expect to be their regular catcher within the next couple of years. But in the meantime, Myers and Hernandez have done a good job of holding down the fort. And the Braves catching with Lopez and Perez, obviously very solid.
0 for 3 tonight for Myers. And the left-hander misses down low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Carlos had a big 3-run homer in the 13th inning to beat Florida this past Friday.
He's tough on left-handers. Bullpens will remain active here. The Atlanta Braves, Martinez will be available here if needed. Swung on and a towering pop-up, second base. Graffinino settles underneath this one and puts it away. So Myers is retired, 2 away here in the 8th inning. Johnny Wall for the Padres. We thought Randy Myers might stay on and finish it up. With Wall throwing as much as he is, looks like he'll come on.
Yeah, the other thing is with the Braves in town again tomorrow, maybe with Myers having a pretty efficient inning. I think he only threw like 10 pitches. They could maybe come back and pitch an inning tomorrow if they needed it.
2 down, nobody on. Rivera. And the pitch by Butler's down low. Rivera's had a single and 3 times to the plate.
A little easier to make some adjustments in your bullpen when you still have Trevor Hoffman in reserve if Wall were to get in trouble.
Interesting this season with the Padres having a chance to even up the season series 3 games each here with a victory. Kevin Brown has not pitched against the Atlanta Braves all season. He, of course, won 2 games last year against them in the postseason, pitching for Florida. And will have an opportunity probably in the postseason to do it again if things go by the numbers here.
Yeah, these 2 clubs meet in Atlanta again next week, but again, Brown's not scheduled to pitch in that series.
2-1 pitch on the way and just missed. Nope, caught the outside corner. 2-2 on Ruben Rivera.
Pretty good job tonight by Hunter Wendelstedt. Not too many odd looks by pitchers or hitters. That's usually a tip-off.
First game behind the plate for the rookie umpire. 2-2. Strike 3 called. He came back on the inside corner. Good pitch by Butler. 1-2-3 inning. So 5-1 lead Padres. Can the Braves do it in the 9th? Welcome back, everybody. Gary Thorne, Dave Campbell, as the San Diego Padres behind the pitching of Andy Ashby, went 7 innings, a run on 5 hits, walked 4, and struck out 8. Chance to be the National League's first 16-game winner. Donnie Wall's coming on to try and get it done for the Padres.
You see Wall's numbers. He was a starter with Houston a few years ago, but has done a good job in the pen for the Padres this year. Not overpowering, but he's got a great slow curveball, and then he spots the fastball well.
Andres Galarraga, first man to face him. Middle of the order up for the Braves. Pitch down and away. Ball and 2 strikes on Galarraga.
Pulling off the breaking ball just a little bit. He's had trouble with that pitch all night.
1-2 delivery on the way, and that's down low. Will the Padres win with a lead in the 9th inning? Bruce Bochy says, I like our chances. 154. And Wall gets Galarraga. 1 away in the 9th.
That tantalizing slow curveball, and Galarraga was way out in front of him. Not only the Padres, you saw that 154-0 the last. Every time they've had a lead after the 8th inning. They're 8-1 if they've been tied after the 8th inning this year. They only lost game to Florida when they were tied.
Ryan Klesko takes the strike.
Bottom line is you better get a lead on the Padres if you want to beat them.
Wall's pitch to him, grounded foul outside of first. Lots of baseball action today. Some still going on, in fact. Sports Center coming along. We'll update you on all of the Major League games. Mets and Cardinals are still playing in St. Louis. 4-4 game. Strike on the outside corner. So Wall comes on and retires the first 2. Galarraga and Klesko are strikeout victims. Coming up, Warren Moon has signed. The Yankees win. And Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, the home run chase. All coming up. Sports Center coming up next. 2 down, nobody on. Michael Tucker 0 for 3. 2 down, nobody on. 9th inning. Ashby waiting to see if number 16 is his. He's 1-0 against the Braves so far this year. 3-2 lifetime. And the pitcher of record for San Diego. Ball to Tucker's away. 2 balls and no strikes. Victory here, and Ashby will be 10-1 at home this year with an ERA that will be lowered from 1.65. Strike. 2 ball, 1 strike count on Tucker. Wall working in a hurry here and throwing strikes, fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Michael Tucker. And the San Diego crowd is up. And well, they should be, as their team looks for their 78th win. That would move them just 1 behind Atlanta for the most wins in the National League. 3-2. field. Finley back, and it's history. And we've got a 16-game winner in the National League, and his name is Andy Ashby.
Sixth inning was pivotal in this baseball game tonight. The Padres led 2-1. Ashby had runners at the corners with nobody out. He struck out Galarraga, Klesko, got Tucker on a ground out. And then he led off the bottom of the sixth with a 10-pitch at bat against Maddux. Maddux willed it in the sixth. Joyner's 2 RBI single put it away.
Caminiti, big hit. Joyner, huge hit. And the rest of the work was Andy Ashby.